You're listening to the smartest guys in marketing, the best show on the planet for client businesses to learn about traffic, funnels, sales, conversions, and marketing coolness. Chris and Taylor are the founders of Traffic and Funnels, a digital marketing consultancy helping you get paid clients from cold traffic daily. Now, here are your hosts, Chris and Taylor.
All right, so we're talking about marketing. You guys want to talk about marketing? It's amazing when we actually take time out of our day and do marketing. The results are insane. We're mixing a lot of things up. I don't know if you guys have kind of been paying attention to what we're doing. You know, as people's, their sophistication levels adjust and change, we have to adjust and change as marketers. And so what we're doing doesn't necessarily apply to all of you in regards to the tactic, but the strategy of what we're doing is going to apply to everybody. And that's essentially building pools. So we're doing this in a few different ways, and we can break that down specifically with the memos, but also with, you guys have seen some of the content we're doing, Smartest Guys in Marketing, podcasts. We're going out there with these people who aren't aware of Chris and Taylor, Traffic and Funnels, Smartest Guys in Marketing, and we're getting their attention. So that's the first thing, getting their attention. And we're moving them to the place of awareness of who we are, what we do, and that we can help them. Right? So there's the biggest group out there right now are people who are unaware of you, which is great because that means there's a lot of people that you potentially can impact. So we leverage things like hyper-organic to go out and get in front of them, get their attention, say, hey, I'm over here, I'm doing this stuff. You know, it's really cool, it's awesome. And that could be a post with a question. Hey, what's your favorite marketing book? Hey, what's the biggest challenge you have in dating? Right? And so it's just something that's very simple, right? So we're not overthinking it, that we can just put to market, get attention, get people into our awareness ring, our awareness circle, so they actually are aware that, oh, this guy or this gal is kind of in the vein of what I need or what I'm doing or the stage I'm at in my life or business. And so there's a lot that goes on in that awareness circle to where we're giving value, we're building relationship, we're building connection because they're on a journey. And that's what you have to realize. And one thing that we've discovered, there's always going to be a top % of people who are just ready to act now.
Right away.
Right away. All they need to know is that what you do. That's it. And that's mostly what we've built our business on. The 10% of people who are ready to go. But what we're doing as we're scaling, we're growing, we're going out and we're bringing in the people who are unaware. We're going out specifically for those people. And we're elongating the process of, we start someone today who's unaware, and we're just building that awareness circle, that awareness bucket, pot, whatever you want to call it, because we're okay with them not knowing who we are, and we're okay with the process for us where we're at in our business right now to be 30 days or 60 days or 90 days or even beyond before they become a client, right? Because we're just building that cascade system to where, for us, again, it's about being at scale, not having to worry about money, and for our team to be able to handle what we need for our business, okay? Have you guys been paying attention to what we're doing with our fan page? What we've seen is just having someone who likes your fan page is very, very valuable. So the stuff that we talk about with hyper-organic is massive. Nobody's onto this yet. And you have all these people freaking out. They're talking about, oh my God, the Facebook algorithm. Oh, they're going to hide my posts and nobody's going to see. Oh my God. But we're over here quietly just building up our fan base because...
And selling memos.
Because what we've seen is it's way less expensive to convert those people, to get them into anything else that we're doing. And so we're building up this basin, right? And so this basin can be your likes, which I think is ultimate, and then also engagement on your posts, okay? And so what's going to happen is you're going to have more and more opportunity for people who are in the action phase. For them, they're ready, they know what they need, they have a problem, they need to take action, they need to fix what they've got going on. And so what's going to happen? You're going to be there, you've built they like you, they trust you. They believe that you can help them. They believe that based off all the stuff that you're posting with case studies, people similar to them, that they can get results, that they can actually accomplish what they need to accomplish, right? So that's the action ring, the action phase. So that's kind of an overview real quick in 5 minutes, what it is and what we're doing and the the idea behind where we're going as a company and going out and building these different basins, these different pots. Anything you want to add to this?
The only thing I would add is that one of the things you have to know when you're doing this, and we've figured out that there's like a time window. We're doing the right thing, but we're not seeing the right results.
Huge.
And you have to be okay with that and expect it. The insurance for you getting something to work is volume and time. I remember having to make the decision early on. I was going to build a platform and I was going to post and we were going to do the right things, even if it didn't work right away. So when you start building a platform, like you're in it for the long haul. Like that's a long game. So you don't need to be looking at like, oh, like I haven't made any money from this yet, and it's been 3 weeks. It's going to take you some time.
Yeah. Yeah, and the big thing is just, having that attention is crucial. Why? Because we live in a society where like people are always consuming, and you have the opportunity to be the thing that they're consuming. Or you can let your competition be that person, right? So one of the things I love about hyperorganic is no matter what the algorithm is doing, you can force yourself into the newsfeed. So you can take this process and break it down for you. And whether you're running a webinar or not, which we encourage that you do, obviously, but let's say if you go out and you get 10,000 people into your audience on Facebook in regards to your fan page. So that could be, let's say you do a live stream and you get 10,000 people to consume that video, right? And this is where we talk about working the numbers for you and where you are. If you have that, and okay, well, if I go out and I get 10,000 people that view this video on this specific topic, and I have them comment in the questions or the comment box below, I know if I do that every single month, a certain percentage of those people in 30 days will turn into 20 phone calls, 15 phone calls, whatever it is. That's the game. That's how you control it. Your numbers, moving people from unaware to aware and then action. Taylor is like, obviously you guys know this, but it's ridiculous at getting people to respond.
Yeah, like I think it depends on what you're doing. Like if you're trying to, another thing we didn't talk about is groups. When you talk about pools of people, having a group of people that are in to hear from you, it's a great way to build engagement there as well. So like yesterday, we're ending the month. There are a lot of things happening with traffic. Our sales, we need just a little bit of a lift to hit our goal for the end of the month. And so with Peyton, I was like, here's what you need to do. You need to go post in Smartest Guys group. Did you guys see his posts? He's got 3 from it. Boom, boom, boom. And it's because they're sitting there looking for us to say stuff to them. So they're like really aware. And sometimes like you just need to be honest with somebody. And it's not like this marketing trick. It's like, hey, I'll get you a deal. Like, why don't we talk? So it doesn't always have to be some crafty like post. Sometimes it's like, hey, I would really like 2 more clients. So will you message me? Like I'll do something cool for you. Like sometimes it can be as simple as that. But with posts and organic, I think a lot of it is like the biggest thing is posture. So what's the posture that you're carrying around with people? And, it's about tilting the supply and demand. So you don't see doctors holding signs on the side of the street begging for patients if they're great and then they're in demand. Do you? Maybe? Would you go to that doctor? It's a little weird. So in terms of like posting and stuff, I think the biggest thing to keep in mind is don't assume that people know that you're good. Don't assume that people know that you're busy. Don't assume that people know that what you have is going to help them. Tell them. And this isn't narcissistic. I'm not being narcissistic, but I'm like, some people don't know, and it's my job to show them that we are good and can help them. And so our posts sometimes come from that. One of my favorite ways to do this now is I'll have an idea for an organic post, and I'll go into Smartest Guys, and I'll say, what do you guys think is the number one commonality among successful clients? And then people just throw all their ideas. I'm like, nope, no, definitely not. Here's a hint. These are in the comments. And then I'll be like, all right, I'm going to go live in 10 minutes and tell you guys what it is. Everybody that's commented has to get on that live because they're actually self-harming themselves if they don't, because their mind is just like, you see what I'm saying?
You guys know what that is? One of like the greatest forces you could ever use. Curiosity. It's crazy how powerful it is. And if you're not using and leveraging curiosity, even if it's in your organic, and even if you start there, leverage curiosity. Ask a question that's open-ended. get them to guess. Well, that's creating engagement. Now they have this like irritation. Like they are super irritated. You guys ever feel like that? You have to know the answer, right? Like every great book and movie is built on that. Leverage that in your marketing. The other thing too, I just want to go back on and point this out is it's so crazy. Like we think and we assume that people know because we're just stupid, but they don't. The majority of people just don't know, or they might have known, but they forgot, right? Because there's so much volume. There's so much noise that people are listening to. One thing that as we're changing our business model, we are going into a phase where we are structuring new messages to go to the market that are just maybe different angles, a different way to say something so it doesn't sound like the same thing over and over, because that's what the market needs. And when I'm saying the market, I mean your market as well.
Can I add something to that real fast?
Yeah.
I was the guy who saw other people doing this and got real annoyed, like angry, because I'm like, I know that person, I have way more money than they do. I'm smarter than they are. I'm just not telling everybody. But they're getting all of the engagement, and they're getting all the fans, and they're getting all the likes. And so I had to go through sort of like a dark period where I just was like, I need to figure out how to communicate this in a way that doesn't make me look like a giant, douche. Wasn't sure if that was loud. The other day I posted real story. Like when I see gurus like post pictures of how much money they make, and I know they're spending all of it because then they post a picture of a car. Like I feel real tempted to post my accounts. Question, does this work or no? Some people didn't like it. Some people were like, okay, you just did the same thing in this post. Yeah. Some people were mad, but like things like that. Or sometimes I'll post just pictures of clients, not making a big deal, but just like, have you looked at my Facebook wall? Every day for the last 4 months, I've posted every day, and I just rotate through stuff. And so sometimes I'm giving a lesson, and sometimes I'm posting a picture of a client's story with their stuff, their name blurred out. Sometimes I'm asking questions. I just rotate through it, and I've found that the guys that really annoy me, they only post one type of thing, and it's a McLaren or a Lambo. Those are the guys that I'm like, can't stand it. But they have 40,000 followers, and everybody raves over them. So it works to an extent, but it's got to be wrapped in a message that's actually helpful. Sometimes you just have to tell people how good you are. Sorry. You're going to have to do it. Like sometimes you're just going to have to literally write a post, just give a little training and be like, I figured this out from doing, and then list some accolades and do it like once a week so that people can start associating you and recognizing you with the skill set that they want to learn. And if you're from like a church background, you're just going to have to work on getting over that.
Well, again, it goes back to curiosity, because of course you're going to have people that say, oh, this is bullcrap. You guys are a bunch of freaking liars and scammers. But you are going to have people who are like, okay, yeah, these guys might be legit. And they're curious, so they're going to dig more. And they're going to start creeping all over your stuff, looking at your posts, maybe jump on like the memos or jump in your group. So at the end of the day, don't be afraid of what people think. If you ever get into that place, you're screwed.
Well, because the most effective stuff you'll do is polarizing, which means you'll walk into a room and half of them will like run and they'll hate you and yell at you while they're doing it, and the other half will love you. That's the perfect equation. That's what drives followings. Nobody wants to follow someone boring who speaks to both sides. What people want, like there are certain people I guarantee you that follow us just because they hate us.
Well, not me.
They're like, they think I'm an arrogant little, millennial, and they just follow me so that they control me. But you get to a certain point where like you understand this principle and you start posting stuff on purpose just to mess them up. And then you start getting people that come to your defense, and you create these little wars like inside of it. Like my post on college, I knew that was going to happen. Like I knew people were going to be like, how dare you? Like you're such an idiot. But I got so many followers from that post, like 80 people followed me brand new on Facebook from that post, just because they're like, what's the ruckus about?